Imagine how a young, ambitious general, fresh from battlefield victories, now stands at the brink of an unexpected triumph, one that would forever alter the course of European history. But this isn't just any battlefield, it's the diplomatic arena. Welcome to the story of Napoleon Bonaparte and the Treaty of Campo Formio. 1797 marked a seismic shift in European history. The fiery gusts of the French Revolution not only toppled the old order within France, but also sent shockwaves across the continent. And in this tempest of change and challenge, a meteoric figure began his ascent: Napoleon Bonaparte. Having dazzled France with his military genius in the Italian campaigns, winning battle after battle against the mighty Austrians, Napoleon had become the talk of Paris. The streets buzzed with tales of his bravery, strategy, and the hope he represented for revolutionary France. While the War of the First Coalition raged on, at first many eyes were fixated on the iconic battlefronts, the French frontiers, the strategic Rhineland, and even the vast expanse of naval warfare. Yet in the shadow of these well-known battlegrounds, Italy was quietly morphing into the epicenter of seismic change. In this undervalued theater, Napoleon's strategic brilliance shone brightly. Every move on the Italian chessboard wasn't just about conquering, it was about innovation. He didn't just face the Austrians, he forced them and the whole of Europe to think anew. The ripples of his Italian conquests spread far beyond the scenic landscapes of Tuscany and Lombardy. These weren't just military victories, they were geopolitical game-changers. His relentless march turned what was once deemed a secondary Italian front into the heartbeat of European strategy, making monarchies scramble and rethink their priorities. But Napoleon's warfare wasn't limited to the battlefield. He was also waging a war of narratives. It was as much about the lands he seized as the stories he told. He didn't just capture territories, he captured imaginations. The tales of his triumphs reinvigorated the French revolutionaries and sowed doubt and fear in the hearts of monarchic coalitions. In the grand tapestry of European geopolitics, while kings and emperors maneuvered in their palatial courts, the tides of the real conflict were shifting in Italy's rustic terrains. Under Napoleon's deft hand, what was once an overlooked theater of war became the keystone in undermining the First Coalition's stance against a revolutionary France, setting the stage for a reshaped European landscape. As the dust settled on the battlefields, a new arena of confrontation arose: the negotiation table. Enter the Treaty of Campo Formio. This wasn't just another parchment with seals and signatures, it was a monumental testament to the changing dynamics of Europe. Crafted in the tranquil town of Campo Formio, this treaty signified not just the end of hostilities between France and Austria, but a dramatic reshuffling of European territories and spheres of influence. What's truly fascinating about this treaty, however, lies not just in its clauses, but in the audacity of its chief negotiator. Napoleon, ever the maverick, initiated discussions with the Austrians even before obtaining the full blessings of the revolutionary government in Paris. This wasn't just a military prodigy at work. This was a master tactician playing the intricate game of European politics. With each strategic move, whether on the battlefield or behind closed doors, Napoleon was signaling his rising stature, crafting his own narrative, and reshaping the future of a continent. The Treaty of Campo Formio is particularly intriguing when viewed against the broader backdrop of European alliances. The War of the First Coalition wasn't a simple bilateral conflict. It started as a grand alliance of multiple European monarchies banding together to curtail the spread of revolutionary ideals emanating from France. Britain, Spain, Prussia, and a host of other states had joined Austria in this endeavor. Yet as the war progressed, the coalition began to fracture due to differing objectives and priorities. By the time of the treaty's signing, what had started as a collective effort to contain revolutionary France had distilled down to a singular negotiation between France and Austria. This narrowing of the diplomatic stage underscored not only the complexities of multi-nation alliances, but also the astute political maneuvering of Napoleon and the ascendant prowess of revolutionary France on the European stage. Diving deeper into the Treaty of Campo Formio reveals a rich tapestry of European politics and diplomacy. Its contents shed light not just on the ambitions of revolutionary France, but also on the intricate power play that would redraw the map of the continent. Firstly, France secured its eastern frontier by annexing the left bank of the Rhine, a strategic and symbolic win that had long been a French objective. This acquisition not only bolstered France's defense capabilities, but also brought a wealth of resources and influence over the Rhineland's bustling cities and trade routes. France achieved a monumental victory by annexing the left bank of the Rhine. Beyond the territorial significance, it was a move that symbolized France's emerging preeminence in continental politics. Secondly, the Austrian Netherlands, today known as Belgium, was incorporated into the burgeoning French Republic, further solidifying its influence in the northern reaches of Europe. This gain consolidated French influence in a region that was a nexus of trade, culture, and European diplomacy. This gave France not only an extended northern frontier but also a stronghold in a region of immense economic and strategic value. In exchange for these territorial concessions, Austria wasn't left empty-handed. The Habsburgs received territories in the Venetian Republic, notably the Venetian mainland and parts of Dalmatia. These new holdings expanded Austria's influence in the Adriatic and further into the Italian peninsula, setting the stage for future Austro-Italian interactions. Additionally, the Austrian treasury was bolstered with indemnities, ensuring that the empire was economically cushioned despite the territorial losses. This financial compensation was critical in maintaining the solvency and military readiness of the Habsburg realm in a volatile Europe. But the treaty wasn't just about France and Austria. A significant casualty of these arrangements was the Republic of Venice, an ancient and illustrious entity that had thrived for over a millennium. With its territories divided between France and Austria, the proud Venetian lion was silenced. The once mighty republic, which had stood as a beacon of maritime power and a crucible of art and culture, was no more. Venice, the Serenissima, was subsumed into larger empires, marking the end of an era and underscoring the ruthlessness of geopolitical maneuvers. In essence, the Treaty of Campo Formio was not just a cessation of hostilities, it was a meticulous calculation of gains, compensations, and power dynamics, woven together in a tapestry that would redefine Europe's geopolitical landscape. For Napoleon, Campo Formio was more than just another feather in his cap. It was his ticket to the power corridors of Paris. With each signature, with each handshake, he wasn't just altering the map of Europe, but also plotting his own meteoric rise. As the treaty took effect, Napoleon's fame soared to new heights. From the cafes of Paris to the courts of distant monarchies, everyone knew that a new force had emerged on the European stage. And this force was not just military, but political. Following the glittering success of Campo Formio, doors that were once closed began to open for Napoleon. Opportunities that seemed distant were now within grasp. The treaty, in essence, became his stepping stone, leading him to the historic Brumaire coup, and ultimately his crowning as first consul. The stage was set for the rise of an emperor. In a world where kings and emperors once ruled supreme, the spirit of revolution and change stirred the masses, and amidst it all, the Treaty of Campo Formio emerged as a defining moment. It wasn't merely ink on paper, it was the culmination of a series of events that would dictate Europe's future. It was a testament to how wars weren't just fought on battlefields, but also in dimly lit chambers with quills, parchments, and determined minds. And as we traverse through the annals of history, we're constantly reminded of the intertwining dance of destiny, diplomacy, and sheer will. Napoleon's ascent from a young Corsican officer to one of history's most iconic figures is a journey that beckons to be explored. And with the Treaty of Campo Formio as one of its pivotal moments, we are left in awe of how individual ambition can shape the destiny of nations. If you've been captivated by this journey and the intricate tapestry of European history, make sure you subscribe for more deep dives into the past. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, keep the wheels of time turning.